Hello and a very good morning to you, wherever you are in the world there, and welcome to Cafe Clairvoyance. We were going to have a very lively show this morning and talking about different issues with a lovely lady called Mila Z on a topic called conditioning. Unfortunately, Mila Z has had a technical issue and can't join us this morning. However, I'm here. So, hello world out there. I hope you're well. And whilst we're doing the show here, what we're going to do, a little bit of Cafe Clairvoyance. We're going to talk about a little bit about how you're coping, what you're doing, how you're managing, and, especially for those people in Spain, in Italy, in countries like this, where we're just feeling a little bit different, shall we say, here, especially with our lockdown at the moment. So this lockdown is a bit crazy, isn't it? However, this is something I want to talk about at the moment here, because I think this is what's going to help us quite a lot. And because when our lives change like this, we're put into a situation where we have to condition ourselves into living a slightly different life like we're doing at the moment. It does make us think. So tell me, well, what are you thinking? How are you feeling? Do you feel that you're really makes you think about things and what you're doing, where you're going? Do you think that that's really happening for you? So please add your comments. Let's have a good old chit chat. And somewhere during the reading, I think we'll do a few readings as well, don't you think? That'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? But yes, please let us know what you're up to around the world there and how you're doing. This would, I'm sure, make it a very interactive show. So it's nice to see some people joining us already. And so what we'd also like to talk about here at the moment is when we're put into a situation like this and we have to abide by a new rule or something like this, like we're doing at the moment, where we have to really be mindful, we have to stay in a quieter place. We can't be as active what we are. It sort of makes us think a lot, doesn't it? It makes us think a lot about what we're doing. So what's making you change at the moment? What sort of thoughts are you having about your life in front of you? For example here, some people are saying to me, and I think it's probably a pretty big idea here as well, is when we think about this, what is it that we want to do ahead in our lives that could make this so special, so big, so different? Sometimes these thoughts come up. I've been encouraging people to say to them, look, don't just use this period that we're going through as just a time period just to do nothing, so to speak, here, and just watch Netflix or just watch movies all the time. Do something which is going to make you preactive. Is there anything you're doing? Is there anything you're doing, anything that you're up to right now that you would really like to talk about and share with us here? Because that'd be great. For example, don't want to talk about me all so much of the time here, rather talk about you guys. And maybe there's something that you want to talk about, such as, let's have a look here now, such as maybe you want to write something. Maybe you want to focus on a creative idea that you've been wanting to put out there for a long time. That'd be a good thing, wouldn't it? That'd be a pretty good thing. Hello, Nancy. Nancy, good morning to you. Good morning, Nancy. Nancy's a lovely lady. She's a lovely lady. She's here in Spain, and she does moon readings, moon meditations. Tell us a bit about what you're up to. There, Nancy. Tell us about what you're doing, how life is going for you at the moment, and what you're doing. What your thoughts are, what your inspiration is to put out there to people. Good morning, buddy. Very nice to see you too. So this is about what we're doing, generating this interest, generating this energy. And say, what are you doing out there that makes your life here feel that you can build on dreams, build on creativity, because that's something that happens, isn't it? We do build on creativity, where our imagination goes somewhere here. So if we are thinking about being creative and wanting to see something happen, because it's interesting, isn't it? The amount of people I meet who say to me, they'd love to follow their dream, but... Hey, in this session, let's take out the word but. Let's take out the word but. I would like to follow my dream. So tell us what your dreams are like. Is there a way we can help you during this show here to look at things slightly differently? We've already got 7 listeners online here. My inspiration is that it is time to reflect and turn inwards. Interesting one here. So we see everything outside there, don't we? And it's interesting at the moment because, thank you very much for that, Nancy. So we are turning inwards. And when we turn inwards, what is it we're doing? What do we want to discover? We want to discover, because it's great to turn inwards and do this, but what are we looking for, people? Let's have a chat here, so look about this and see what your thoughts are. When we turn inwards, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we going to bring out something? What is it we want to bring out? What does it want to do here? And so, because a lot of people at the moment, when they look out the windows and they see quiet streets, and it is eerie. And for a lot of people, some people find it very challenging because they've always feel like they've got to have something going on. They've got to be out something, they've got to do something. And now we're sort of stuck within four walls and left with social media here, which is a great tool to communicate with people around the world. And this is, yeah, which is magic. We could actually then tune in with people and help people and discuss things. And see where your creativity lies, bringing humanity back into a whole. Okay, bringing humanity back into a whole. And I think when I think that's a nice thing, isn't it? And I think when you look at Facebook and you look at all the social media groups out there at the moment, I think it's absolutely beautiful that people are saying that how they want to connect and just say, here, anybody got a problem, just phone us, just talk to us. And I think that's a lovely thing that people are doing. And I know I've said that to people. I know loads of other people here. I think, Nancy, I think I've seen it from you as well, where you wanted to just send out those lovely energies there to help people and help ourselves there. So, yes, this is quite a big thing, isn't it? And I think as well, what we're also looking at now is this is one of the first times for a lot of us in our lives here where we've had this isolation. We've had to sit back and really think. And for some people, turning inwards is a scary thing. And that's an interesting concept altogether. And probably, Nancy, you've probably got some thoughts on this too. Is that if people are thinking it's a scary thing to turn it inwards, then what are we hiding? What's down there? What's down there to make us think it's scary? Yes, when we turn inwards, why do we sometimes fear turning inwards? What is it that we sometimes think here is out of alignment or something like this, or something that worries us? And it's interesting here, in my training here, especially in psychotherapy and hypnotherapy, Nancy says lots of people are living in fear now, and fear is our biggest and worst advisor. Okay, wow, lovely words like those there. Seeing our shadow parts is huge now, and facing them to become more whole. Great. Now, that's an interesting point, isn't it? Because when we are in this situation, we have to go within ourselves. Some people don't like it because they've always got to have something external to react to them. It's a Mercury thing. It's this communication thing. It's almost like our lives here have gone into retrograde. So we had to go into this hiding, haven't we? We've gone into this isolation, what we're doing. And I keep saying isolation, but sometimes we can be alone, but we're not lonely, are we? We can be alone, we're not lonely, and sometimes going into ourselves is a good idea. So maybe there's something here rather than, so fear is an interesting word, because as Ben has heard this many a times, and there's different examples of fear. I mean, false expectations appearing real. And because when we do go in ourselves here, sometimes that fear, and this is interesting here, because the fear could be, okay, let's use my crystal ball here, just for example. Okay, so fear could be, say, the size of this. Okay, that could seem pretty big, but as you can see through it, which is a big thing. And but I think what we look at here is when we have a fear, it's something we attach to the fear, which takes it out of perspective. It's called emotion. We have a problem. We think, oh God, it's a big thing. But the emotion there is like fills your life. It fills your room. And sometimes talk about emotions. We get this block around about there thinking, how do I explain this? How do I explain this here? And Nancy's saying here, she says, down there are our shadow parts, our fears we need to face and heal ourselves. And sometimes we don't often like that, thinking, well, I want someone else to heal it. I want someone else to heal me. Well, often the best way to do it, even through any type of therapy, you often find that it's you who's gone through therapy to heal yourself. It's not easy, but I'm seeing a way to post for people to work on their shadow self. Now, isn't that nice actually? That's that song actually, Me and My Shadow. I can't remember the rest of the words, but it's isn't it nice here? Sometimes our shadow can also be our friend, and turning it round to that. And using that to bring out something, because if yourself and your shadow were to emerge and your shadow was a good part of you, you'll become twice as good. Twice as good, yes. Twice as good in your life here. And it's interesting, but especially through this year, and it's 2020, we had Saturn and Pluto coming into conjunction. And a lot of people have brought out these energies, haven't they? A lot of them have come out with these energies, this thing here, and needing to realign with themselves. And now we're given the opportunity. I mean, look at the abundance we're creating out there now. Because there's no cars out there, we're not creating pollution. Yes, we're probably not eating as much here. We're not using so much carbon, we're using so much carbon out there. We can actually appreciate the sound of birds in the morning. I mean, normally we look out the window, all we hear is cars, and see people quickly walking that way and quickly walking that way to work. And there's this, I'm late, I've got to hurry up, and late. The Mad Hatter's Tea Party, and where we see these people going all over the place. So this is very much a time here. I think we need to have this reflection. Just listen to nature. Listen to ourselves here. This is the nice thing. Is there a show itself for you to heal that? It's there to show itself for you to heal those parts. That part's there. Okay. Yes, we got the opportunity to heal those parts in our lives, haven't we? And how do we do it? Well, one of the ways to do it here, and maybe you'll do it here, is first of all, focus on your breathing. And because rather than breathing in, rather than going in to find this deep part inside of you and thinking it's going to be a fear, maybe it's something beautiful. One of the ways to actually transition this, to turn this around like this, is maybe focus on something that's going to be more harmonic, something easier, something nice. Something nice that just makes us feel good about ourselves, but focusing on our breathing. And when you're breathing here, just sometimes slowing down and being with yourself just for that moment, that time, that little space of time here, to just say, yes, this is the perfect time for reflection. And it's that showing and looking at ourselves in the mirror, isn't it? And just saying here, hey, it's good to be you, it's good to be me, it's good to be part of this great divine. And knowing there's loads of people out there chatterboxing at the moment, and I haven't heard anybody. This is magic. This is everybody's been offering help. No one's having a go at someone else. No one's moaning about someone else. No one's going on about their next door neighbour and how could they do this and how could they do that. No, everybody is loving everyone. Isn't that beautiful? So there's already a part here which brings out the lovely part of humanity, lovely part of ourselves that wants to reconnect and make things happier, more beautiful, more wiser in many respects. Yes. So, maybe this is this time here just to help ourselves. And don't lose this. Don't forget this. When you found something here, don't lose it, forget it. It's too easy, isn't it? Where suddenly they're going to say, okay, we've got the all clear. It's almost like the siren's going to come out, like but back in the war, like say the air raid has just finished or the virus has just gone. Goodbye, virus. Goodbye. And maybe it's just gone there. So maybe we can actually have this opportunity to don't forget these times when we go within ourselves to bring us creativity. Because sometimes we then change our lives to get back into something else, like everything starts getting more external and sociable. And what do? We forget about those dreams. Don't forget about them. Exactly. Look in the mirror and love your whole self. Love your whole self. I think that's a lovely thing there. And I think that when we appreciate this, it's great. I mean, people want to talk about what they're doing, and I think this is a great opportunity to do it. So do it. So, okay, let's think about here. What do you want to do? What do you want to do with your life in front of you? So if you had a goal or something now that you're thinking here you want to go and do, and sometimes thinking, how do I do this? How do I do this? Well, you're on the right show, perhaps. Because we're on the right show because we not only just talk about our goals, we also have a little look in exploration into what your goals are. Because being a medium here, also work in the ether, straight up there. And I also want to work with the tarot cards, they help me connect. But also, it's you guys out there, the answers you have to the people writing in, saying what it is they want to go and do. So think about your goals right now. What you want to go and do? What is that that's within yourself which is creative? And I'm thinking of here. There's a fantastic humorous professor. He's a sir. And it's Kenneth is his Christian name. And I'm just trying to recall his surname. I think someone will probably come up in a minute. But he said here, and this is interesting, that when we're at school here, we're taught to be industrialised. Education is industrialised. It really is, isn't it? And when we've got this in industrialisation, what we're missing out of altogether is the creativity. I mean, that shows so much in the schools, doesn't it? Especially when I was growing up. It probably still is. At the very top here, you've got English and maths, or Spanish and maths, or whatever you want to call it. Then straight underneath that, you've got history, geography, sciences, all the sciences. Then you've got history and geography, and then you've got probably languages somewhere. Then you've got something else, and right down the very bottom is the two bits that sometimes need to be the other way around. Right up top, creativity, the arts, music. Music brings us together, doesn't it? It's the international language of communication. Music definitely is. When we start communicating with each other, music is the one thing that will always bring us together. It's almost like saying here, do you remember the times you're living in your life when the Bay City Rollers were alive? I've probably just given away. I'm very old. See? That's just that side, isn't it? Yeah, the grey hair here that shows that I remember the Bay City Rollers. Okay, well, I did Michael Jackson, something like this, or do you remember the certain things about music? They were absolutely fantastic. And even going back to Live Aid in 1984, I think it was, 84. And so thinking about music is a creative thing, is a creative tool. I think it's an amazing thing, isn't it? But this is what this guy was saying. In fact, I'm going to go and look for it in a minute before we finish this show, because he was saying here that we need to be more creative. From a seed of creativity, we will create a fantastic new idealism of consciousness if we become more creative. So what about you? What about your creativity here? What is it that you want to go and do? Because I know what I'm going to go and do here. As much as I finish this, I'm going off to go and write. I like writing. I enjoy it, even though my grammar's probably ran the wrong way, but never mind, because I've got a master out there. There's a master, no, that one there, master out there who helps me with all the grammar. She's called Deborah, and she's a wife. Lovely wife. Anyway, so she helps me with the grammar there. But I'm writing a book, and I want to do quite a lot now, and I want to use these specific times. And I'd also want to write blogs. I also want to do a lot of talking like this here. Since it's been on, I think there's already been about 18 people coming and going on the show here. I know probably all quite busy, but yes, it's lovely to see people. So what is it that we're going to do that's creative? So what is it you want to go and do? What is it you want to go and do? What is it that you want to go and achieve in your life in front of you to help you feel so much more connected? Because I think this is an important time, really, isn't it? Okay, so we're about 20 minutes through to the show here, and the astrology chart. Now, this is interesting. We've got a new moon coming up. There's a new moon coming up in it, and the interesting thing about this, schools are a bit outdated. Yes, this is interesting. Schools are a bit outdated. This is from Nancy. Seeing this new generation, they have other needs and live under different energies. Creativity is a big part in here. Yeah, it really is, isn't it? Because when we think about it here, I mean, during this time, here's something amazing. Here's something that I'll probably say to you, you probably heard, but you probably listened to it even more because we're in this zone. We're in this time here. Thanks, Nancy, for that. That's brilliant. But for everything that we have in our lives was created through an idea. Shoes. Well, the English invented them. Bless them. English invented them because we were dancing around on sheep's wool with like a toffee glue, which was created so they could dance. But then suddenly realised that the sheep's glue and the sheep fur and the glue was sticking together on the soles of our feet. Then thinking, well, why do we need to lay beds of sheep fur and toffee glue to dance on top of when we could just wear these things and that's it? So shoes were invented. And another amazing British invention is something here that's quite an interesting one, and that is for England that we're famous for. I mean, you'll never forget this. You'll go out of your day going, oh my God, this is just incredible. This is just incredible. The British are so famous because they invented trousers. Trousers. Isn't that fantastic? Fantastic. You'll never forget this now. We the British invented trousers. I'm so proud of that. I mean the Scotch people there, if there's anyone listening, they haven't quite caught on yet because they're still wearing kilts or skirts, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, but no, we invented trousers. Since then, everybody starts wearing trousers. It's now gone into jeans and all sorts here. But everything was created through an invention. So during this time period now, what are you going to create? Everything that's in our lives was created through an idea. It was created through an idea. We created things through ideas. Through these ideas, things came to light. We built a better world. The Romans invented the long roads. The Greeks invented the water pump, the Archimedes screw, which is still being used today. So we use today. There's still an enormous amount of stuff there. So what are you going to do that's going to create a better world for you? Because as we look at our lives around us now, as we see our lives around us now, through creation, through ideas, and through this wonderment, we're able to have some of the most harmonious times going, aren't we? It's the most harmonious times going because we create a better life for ourselves when we start using our creativity, our imagination. Logic over here is very limiting indeed, very limiting. Because it's only a small part of our mind and it's only knows black and white. But to create something is in the larger part, the subconscious part, which is enough to fill the room, fill the world, just about here. And even glasses, someone came up with an invention. It was an idea. Ideas don't come from conscious thinking. They come from something creative to make our lives a better place. So what are you going to do that's going to create a better place for you and a better place maybe for other people? Maybe it's something there that you can offer. Have we noticed here, another thing I noticed here, just bringing out this here, how everybody was, the groups that they've been running, such as yoga groups. I know a lot of Sarah Peers out there, she's doing this, and also I know a very good friend of mine, Sylvia, over there in Portugal. She's also doing yoga groups out there. But rather than doing them where we all used to go along and see these groups go and do it, they're now doing it online. I mean, this is amazing. This is creative. What social media creates for you, which is fantastic here, is we're not just doing something to your group. You're going out to the rest of the world. You've just expanded your horizons completely. Masterfully, fantastically. It's just out there, isn't it? Yeah. And hello, Rob. Rob's around, is he? Hello, Rob. All right, nice to see you, Rob. And hello, Deborah. And so this is interesting, isn't it? This is interesting that through creativity, through ideas here, we now reach out to the rest of the world. And other people do just the same here. And now social media is actually helping us to build a better business, a better life. We now see everything on a global scale. All right, we've got to get used to talking to ourselves to a computer screen like I'm doing. But I know that there's 10, 11, 16, 17, 20, 21 people out there listening at the moment. So seeing everything as a whole and stepping out of our comfort zone gives you the freedom in creating better creativities as it's not from your ego. Wow, okay. So we've, Nancy, thank you very much for that. That's brilliant because this is, when we step out of this, it's good, isn't it? Because when we step out of the box we're in, which is the life we used to live by, isn't it? We're always happy sitting in that box. I mean, I used to know people years ago, and I'm not condoning people at all, I'm just saying how they used to be, but people years ago did not like to travel out of their towns. They was just so happy in a border of the square box restricting their towns. There was no life or experience outside of that. That's the only life they wanted and felt that they needed. Compared to if we expand our horizons and go right out there and go and expand our horizons through language, through culture, through people, we learn so much. We really do. We learn so much. But learning, again, goes straight to subconscious, straight into that lovely area of your mind here where you build a better world for yourself. Because you know more, you learn more, you expand. And here's a scientific fact. Scientific fact. Every time you learn something new, your mind expands and will never go back. right. Every time you learn something new, your mind expands and will never go back to the way it was. You learn something new and something fills it and gets a bit more. Your sense of knowing becomes stronger. Becomes stronger here. Okay, so here we are. Good morning to you. This is Cafe Clairvoyance. We're going to do a show this morning which was going to be on conditioning. Rabina, unfortunately, had technical difficulty and can't join us, but don't want to do that show without her because she's got a lot of experience herself here. And so instead, we're here live today. And this show here is now going to turn a little bit towards readings. Okay, so I've got some cards here, and I'm more than happy to do readings for people. And all I like to do is just let people know this is out there. So when we get to the end of this here, please share this. Please share this broadcast out to your friends that don't know it happens out there. I mean, if other people want to go and do the same thing, fantastic. We're all doing a wonderful show. And Nancy, I really think you ought to do one as well. I think you ought to get out there and start talking about moon energies and how the moon phases affect us all, and the meditations you need to go do. But it is good, isn't it? Because I know you run a lovely little group, a lovely circular group here, lovely ladies, and it's about connecting with the moon, which is very much about the feminine parts of our personality. But maybe if you do something out there, which is get out there, connect with the world outside, fantastic. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do some readings. We're going to do some live readings. So anybody who has a question there, please just write in. Just write in. Just let us know what you would like to know there, and I'll be more than happy to read for you. More than happy to read for you. So I'll just wait for you to do that. Whilst I'm doing that, I'll just keep chatting, chit chat. Yeah. And right, okay, here we go. Just so you know how for anybody here listening in England or anywhere else in the world, they're taking it very seriously over here about us being in this lockdown phase here. One of the things that's actually happening, people are doing, if they do go venture out there, the police are on them straight away. And there was a cyclist who thought he'd go out and just go for a bike ride, and the police stopped him and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Going for a bike ride." I said, no sports activities. I will, buddy, with the upcoming new moon. Fantastic. That'll be good. Just let us know when you're doing it. Put us an email out there to let us know when you're going to do it. Because this new moon is a very special one. And it's a little bit to do with the healing, because we've got the sun, and which is the new moon is going to be wrapped around Chiron. Chiron, the master healer. But Nancy, it'd be lovely to hear your thoughts, energies on this, and to see your show. That would be absolute magic. And right, okay, so yes, got some here's Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl. Good morning to you. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Well, of course there is. Right, hang on. This is Cafe Clairvoyance. So during the show here, you need. This here comes from, as you might notice here, it comes from a certain manufacturer, if you can see that just there. Yes. They gave it to me after I walked off with it. Sorry. Anyway, right. Okay, right. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Cheryl, let's help you out here. Here we are in lockdown, but lockdown does not stop us from communicating to the rest of the world. We are here, buddies. We are here. We're alive. We're kicking, and we're out there. I'm joined by my yoga buddy, just here. Just so peaceful. He's been meditating all morning. It just doesn't move. Fantastic. Right. Okay. So, Nancy, tell us a little bit about your work you're doing and how people can view your show. Just tell us a little bit about that. There's what they need to do, whether it's a Facebook page, whether it's a website, whatever it is they need to align to. And I'm more than happy to tell it out there. But Cheryl, good morning to you, Cheryl. Let's have a little look here. I'm just shuffling away the cards. And Cheryl asks here, is there light at the end of the tunnel? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Okay, so let's have a look here and just see what comes up. And I'm also going to listen spiritually. Catherine Gamilla, good morning, Catherine. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you here. We're doing a Cafe Clairvoyance this morning. We were supposed to be doing one on conditioning, but unfortunately it's been a bit of a technical issue on Mila's end, who was going to join me, so we're doing a little bit of Cafe Clairvoyance. So, here we go. Just finished shuffling the cards for me. And I'm now, okay, let's have a look here, Cheryl. So I'm going to cut the packet into 3 piles. And just focusing on this here, if I was to choose a pile for you, I'm going to go for the right pile. I just feel to go for the right one. Let's go for the right, the right, the right, the right. Right, because it's right. It's the right way to go, isn't it? Right way to go. Right, okay, so is there light at the end of the tunnel? Is there light at the end? And big kiss to you too, Catherine. Big kiss to you too. Right. My goodness, yes, there is. Very quickly. Very quickly. Now, here's a bit I want you to be very mindful of here. Your life is going to change very fast and it's going to go for the better. What I'd like you to do is to focus on what it is you want. What it is you want. Because it's great that life can move forwards, but unless we go into a direction somewhere, unless we have an aim, a goal or something here, it's going to go a bit whoa, and we're going to find ourselves over place. And what you don't want is to have this focus of energy, which is going to push your life forwards, then just go everywhere and lose its momentum. It's almost like here, when you fire a bullet, it's down a very thin tube and the shell is very narrow and the force behind it is so fast it will travel for, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles. 3 or 4 miles, for instance. Or if you work in kilometres, I mean, 3 or 4 miles converted into kilometres, I think it's about 60 kilometres, isn't it? Anyway, so 3 or 4 miles, bang, off it goes. But if you use the same energy to, say, cast a net, it's probably going to go about 10 foot. Probably, isn't it? I think that's probably what they're going to do. So, with your situation here, be focused on what it is you're going to do. Have a clear plan, because otherwise here we're not being strong here, and just being mindful of what we're doing. And I think here that's where your strength would go. You've got a lot of support here, Cheryl, and I think that's going to be a big thing for you. And I think focus on that. And also here, there is also something very important coming up for you. Very important, and I think you'll be very warmed by an invitation coming towards you, which would make life feel so much better and so much happier. Totally unexpected is coming up. You're going to feel very supported, very loved, and very needed. Very needed in a sense here. And I know, and I can see your situation here, that sometimes you need this support for you, but also here I think other people coming into your life to give you support as much as you're giving them support. And it's a lovely thing. There's a bit of balance here. And yeah, so be clear in your mind about what it is and where it is you're going. And also here, I think it's talking to people that you can trust and you can know. Anybody outside of that, I would sort of say no. In fact, I'm picking up here spiritually through mediumship here. I'm picking up here through mediumship. There's another energy coming in. And this energy here, there's a lady here who wants to come over. There's a lady who wants to come over. And as I'm picking her up here, she's saying around here, now would you understand her children? And would you understand her daughter? And would you understand support or strength here, which is helping you to go forwards? Yes. Focus on this here. I think this is some of the big things you'll get into. Big things here. I think that's a big thing for you. But no, this is good. I also pick up the energies here as I come through your cards here. That this is where your life's going to seek happiness. If you've got this direction, you take on this support, you listen to people here. And I think here as well is feeling although your life can feel like it's going like this at the moment, is feeling your own strength here, because sometimes here with our backs against the wall, we sometimes could do a lot more than what we know. Sometimes we can, can't we? Yes, so, okay, hopefully that's helped you. If you've got any other questions there, by all means ask. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Yes, there is. I think here, though, just be focused. Just be focused. Focus for yourself. Yes. Now, let's have a look here. Anybody else here like a reading here? We've got some lovely people here want to come through. We've got, let's have another look here. Okay, it's lovely to see so many people here come over online here. Quite a few, that's lovely. Right, okay. So, astrologically here, we're coming up to this time. We come up to this wonderful time where we are, got this great energy with Venus. We've got this, the moon rather, coming into Chiron, coming into the sun. And if we're looking for a little bit of a sign of hope, we may find it. we may find it. It's coming up with a new moon. And Cheryl says, thanks, no problem at all. Anybody else out there and your buddies out there like a reading, just let me know. And yeah, so I think if there's anything that we need to look for here, there's a bit of healing coming up, and we can find this healing, compassion, humility within ourselves. I think that's what's going to help ourselves here. And I think as well here, Cheryl, I'd also say I think it's getting ready here in your sense here of a new life, and to step into that new life. Step into it and don't look back. Go forwards. It's about going forwards here. Yeah. And to understand the clarity between what we would understand as the past and what we understand as where the future is going to be, and understand they're two different energies. They're two different things altogether. So hopefully that's helped there. Right. Anybody else out there like a reading? Just shout on through. Just I'm more than happy to come over and help you there. That's yes. Okay. Right. We're 35 minutes through this. We're going to keep going towards the end of the hour, which is actually it's supposed to be. Yes, we were a bit late start to this show, so we'll either stop this at 12 o'clock noon, or we've gone a bit more if people want readings. Come on. Okay, Nancy, let us know about your group. Let us know about your group here. That would be fabulous to know about your group and what you're up to. And where we're going there, that would be magic. And then because people can tune into your show, that'd be brilliant. I'm definitely home. Yes. Okay. So, okay, let's have a look and see. I'm not a doctor, but what I'm going to work on is energy. And let's look at energy regarding where this virus is concerned and how we can respond energy-wise, and what's going to help us. What's going to help us in the future here. So I'm just going to cut the pack into 3 piles. I've got the left, the middle, the right. I'm going to go for the left, and let's have a little look here. Let's have a little look. Okay, so it's interesting here because I think whatever's coming up in our lives here, I know we can worry of where we're going here. I do feel though it's only time, and then we start to realise here that there is a way forwards. And it's interesting. I was listening to a lady from Beirut the other day who's got a quite a good viewpoint here. She says spring is coming and Corona is going, and I think that's probably a good thing because flus don't really last much beyond a spring. So as the weather warms up, we should be on the way forwards here. So that's probably a big thing, because flus 90% of the time just hang around in the winters, don't they? Yeah. And right, where else are we going here? Let's have a little look. So lovely to see you on show this morning. We talk about creativity. We're also talking about during this time here when you're on your own. What is it you would like to do? Hi Sarah, how you doing? Big hug to you too. Thank you very much. And when we're actually looking at our lives at the minute, we want to become more creative, and we want to build our lives somewhere to build a better life. What is it you want to go and do? Is there something that you want to do there? Like, for instance, you want to write a book? Do you want to learn a new subject? Do you want to do something more practical? Is there something that's going to help you to build a better life around you? That would be interesting to see, interesting to know. Yes, and because I'm sure there's a lot out here that when we sit down there, we're realising that life is changing, our world is changing. As we always said, 2020 was going to be a year of change. And I think a lot of astrologers didn't actually think it's going to be quite like this. However, this is a Pluto thing. This is a Pluto thing, which will bring something up for the underworld we've got to deal with. Pluto is always something you've got to deal with. So sometimes even this isolation, we just got to deal with it and work with it and build it to our better energies here. And let's see where we can go. Okay, so I think so. What is it you want to go and achieve? What is it you would like to see in the future for yourself? And how are you going to do it? Because sometimes here, when we think of our lives around us, we always think of the industrial side of life, the logical side of life, in a sense. I'm not saying logic is right or wrong, but one thing that can come across with logic here is the fact that is not necessarily the right path you want to take. You want to become more creative, and it's the scary part of taking a risk in an industrial world. Will this work? Well, when we think about creativity in our lives, everything that was around us, everything that was created was here for a reason or a purpose. So there is something there. There's something there that's important for us. Yeah. And I think if there is a message which I'll say to you guys out there, I think that there is some good news coming ahead. There's a little bit of good news coming ahead. I think it's going to warm our hearts a little bit with the new moon. And I also think here there's another little bit of energy which is going to warm us as well. And I think it is that belief in ourselves and to become more creative. Don't just watch movies, guys. Don't just watch movies just doing nothing. Do something which is going to create here. Obviously, you lovely mothers out there, you're going to be busy with kiddies who are off school, in which case your life's going to be busy. But is there anything else you could do that brings creativity and a sense of peace and well-being to you because you're doing something for you? That's quite a big thing as well, isn't it, when we're doing something like that? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to round up the show actually because I think you're busy people this morning, and I'll come back a little bit later on over the next few days. I'll make another date with Mila Z, and we'll come back on, we'll do another show. But in the meantime, people, I just want to wish you a very, very, very wonderful, happy day. And let us know what you're up to, even if you listen to this after the show, and just give us a chat. Let us know what you're doing. It'd be great to see you. Great to see you. And I just want to say this to you. Let's just give you a little... the volume must be down. Sorry. Okay. So volume must be down on some particular area there, but let's just say to you here, that was a round of applause I was due to give you, but for some reason it went a bit quiet. Okay. Folks, you take care. Big love to you all. Big love to you all here, and I wish you the very, very best. You take care. You take care. Goodbye. Have a lovely, lovely day, whatever you're doing.